If you want some good book recommendations, then stick with me, Alistair. Welcome to my channel, and this is a book haul for August. So, to start out the book haul, I just want to make something of a confession. I'm on a fixed income, so uh, I can't really buy an awful lot of books, or not as many as I would like to. And I can't really spend on um, special editions or collector's copies or anything like that. Um, but I try and do the best that I can with the money I've got, and I also try to find places that sell books at a reasonable amount, um, which is not difficult here in the UK. I mean, out, outside of the charity shops that you can get to. I mean, there's some very good second used bookstores and online used bookstores as well. And I always think that if I'm buying from an online used or online bookstore, then what I'm doing is I'm taking a book out of the clutches of the AI conglomerates, the bastards. But anyway, one of the other places that I do use and have started to use a bit more frequently now is Temu. Now, if you're into like genre stuff like me, horror, science fiction, fantasy, that kind of thing, then it's a really good source. They have, I mean, a lot of the stuff is like, you know, their new editions of out of copyright stuff. So I mean, a lot of Lovecraft I've got through that. Newly bought through that, but also, I mean, they have some really good stuff, and it's reasonable, and it comes on time. When they say it will arrive, it arrives. So to start off, then this I got from Temu, Ursa K. Le Guin, The Lathe of Heaven. I've read the Earthsea books. But I for some reason never ever read anything else by Ursula K. Le Guin, and I find that difficult because she's a very good writer. Maybe that because I was stuck mostly on fantasy and horror and neglected science fiction. That's probably why. But I like these SF Masterworks series from Gallant. I've got quite a few of them now. You can just about see them just above my left shoulder, behind the Grim Reaper up there. I think, you know, they do a sterling job of putting out these books. So this is for their SF Masterworks series, but also their Fantasy Masterworks series, which I think has been going maybe a little longer. I remember buying these books back in the early 2000s, and they've changed delivery a little bit, but it's still good. This is book. I think I bought this book and I killed the author, because I bought this book and 2 days later John Crowley died. I loved his books, his Egypt series. And also this one is the first John Crowley book I ever read, Little Big, and it stuck with me throughout my life, so I needed to get another copy of this. I mean, it's a big old tome of a book, but it's really worth reading if you want to have a good time reading fantasy. If you like the Gormenghast books by Mervyn Peake, then you'll like Little Big. Another author I've read a couple of books by, but many years ago, and then didn't continue on, was Octavia E. Butler, and they had the Parable of the Sower and the Parable of the Talents, as a selling both for a reasonable price. So, and I've heard very good things about these. I'm looking forward to reading those as well. I never buy books and don't read them. I'm one of those. I'm a mood reader. So at the moment I've got about 5 books on the go. But I mean, I've always got about 5 books circling because uh, some of the books I'm not in the mood to read. I don't know if anybody else has that. These next 3 books are from the same author, Sylvia Morena Garcia. She's a Mexican Canadian author. I think she's Mexican but was brought up in, and she lives in Canada. Um, I'd never heard of her. I saw someone else, I can't remember, on BookTube, read this one, Mexican Gothic, and they had 3 of her books as a bundle on Temu, and I thought I'd take a punt. I mean, I love magical realism. I love Gothic, so I was thinking of of Isabella Allende. Um, I don't know, Emily Bronte uh, mix up, and it's not too far out of that Mexican Gothic. I've started reading this. I'll finish it within the next couple of days. But yeah, it's not too far away from that, to be quite honest. And it's very good. I mean, it's heavy on atmosphere, and the plot is a little bit nebulous. But then again, most Gothic romances are, or Gothic books are. But this one, I mean, it's definitely Gothic, and it has all the trappings of Gothic. So I'm enjoying this one immensely, and I'm hoping to enjoy this one, Gods of Jade and Shadow. It's brilliant covers on these, and the beautiful ones, also by Sylvia Morena Garcia. Okay, so yeah, I would recommend, off reading of what I've read of the first book I'm reading, Mexican Gothic, I would highly recommend her other books. So this one was a bit of an oh, my buys are impulse buys, but The Spider, Master of Men, The Coming of the Terrors. You can see it's number 36 in the series. I haven't read the other 35. Don't think I've ever read A Spider. They didn't have any of the earlier books. Well, I couldn't find them. They probably do, but I'm pretty sure that you can jump in anywhere. I mean, this is one of the original pulp heroes, if you like, along with the Shadow and with Doc Savage. Doc Savage, I've read a lot of Doc Savage. Shadow, I've read some. I quite like the Shadow, so I thought I'd give the Spider a go. Who could tell you more about the Spider is Michael K. Vaughan. You find his channel linked in the description. And the other one, I mean, I bought all these books, and I mean, up until the last 2, I have those here, and a couple of others that I picked up in charity shops. But I have had all the books, but they're currently in a library in the interior of the northeast of Brazil, somewhere in a university library, and that irks me a bit. So I thought I'd splash out very reasonably on 5 books, 5-book collection from Temu of Terry Pratchett. So you can see there, you've got Colour of Magic, Equal Rights, More, Guards, I'm Going Postal, and they're all. Well, I mean, I love all Terry Pratchett anyway. So, but these are okay. The only problem is they're the Penguin editions, and the Penguin editions have really shit covers. They're not either Kirby or what's his name? I can't remember his name now. I did the later ones, but there you go. What are you going to do? Anyway, so yeah, that's my Temu haul. The other place that I tend to get my books is World of Books. Once again, as I say, I mean, I like using used what do you call it, used books, used bookstores online and in real life. As I say, it keeps these books out of the clutches of for at least a while, out of the clutches of the evil AI conglomerates. First one, I first read this book, wow, 40 years ago. When did it come out? This came out first in 1980. Hammering paperback edition 1981. So I would have read it in 1981. Jeez. Okay. So Duncton Wood. It does for moles what Watership Down did for rabbits, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, it's a tome. I mean, Watership Down was not that big, and there were 3 books in this series. I read the first 2, Duncton Wood and Duncton Quest. The third book, Duncton Found, I never read, but I think it was because it was after I'd gone to move to Brazil, so I didn't get it. But I love these books. Don't know why. I think it's because it's all around Huffington and Oxfordshire and so on. So yeah, I love this. And also, what's good about this book is look, it was given as a prize, a form prize, presented to Rebecca Fry at the Southend High School for Girls. I love these things in books, news books, and it was she was in Form 7M. So it was signed by the chairman of the governors and the headmistress, whose names one is the chairman of the governors is Joan, and the headmistress is Wendy with IE. I think it's Wendy Jake. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I love that because it shows that the book has been somewhere. So yeah, Duncton Wood. Looking forward to rereading that. This one is the second in this series, the Stranger Times series. So I read the first one last month. Was it last month? Yeah, last month. And this is the second one, This Charming Man. Yes, by C.K. McDonald. If you like Terry Pratchett, then you'll like this. If you like 14 Times, you'll like these. So I mean, it's a Terry Pratchett 14 Times mashup, and I mean, he's not like. I mean, it's different from Terry Pratchett, but he's very humorous. He has a fine eye and ear for humour. I'm not. Well, I suppose, yeah. I mean, he's probably around my age, so yeah. This one he references. These are all set in Manchester, so in this one he references the Smiths, and in the next one, Love Will Tear Us Apart is obviously also informed by the Manchester music scene of the time, in the 80s. But yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. I'm looking forward to reading this one. Okay, so yeah, I should have got this really. I bought this book a couple of months ago. I'd already read the Children of Hurin, or Nin Hai Chin Hurin, as it's called in Sindarin. The Children of Hurin. This was excellent, very good. I mean, I'd read the stories before, in both the Silmarillion and in the Unfinished Tales. They turn up there, but this was without any footnotes, without anything. Christopher Tolkien, I mean, his last project before he died were these 3 books, and he did a sterling job with this one. I mean, it's just wonderful. So I also bought Beren and Luthien and The Fall of Gondolin. which if you're a Tolkien nut like me, then you would have read these stories anyway in the histories of Middle Earth. But I really like the delivery, and I like having them separate, so that you don't have to read a massive, great big tome just for those stories. So yeah, I bought. I mean, I already had this one, the first one. These two I got from World of Books, very reasonable price indeed. The other one is which one is which? Got a feeling that this is. Yeah, I can't remember now. Ah, right, okay, yeah, here's one. So yeah, these are by Mark Hodder. The Curious Case of the Clockwork Man. Burton and Swinburne book. I read the first one, which was the Strange Affair of Spring-Heeled Jack, and loved it. It's an alternative Victorian world. It's not Victorian, it's Albertian, because Victoria was assassinated before she came to the throne, and there are all kinds of goings on. So the Curious Case of the Clockwork Man. I also bought the next one, which is Expeditions to the Mountains of the Moon. So they are set in an alternate London around in this universe would be the Victorian times. It's actually the Albertan times in that universe, and it stars Sir Richard Burton, not the actor, but the explorer. And for some reason, I don't know if Mark did this deliberately, but the authors love taking Sir Richard Burton and making him an adventurer. I mean, Farmer, Philip Jose Farmer. I'm sorry, Philip Jose Farmer did it in the Riverworld saga, and now Mark Hodder has done it in the Burton and Swinburne books. So I'm looking forward to it. They're rollicking adventures. Mark does sterling work and has done. And his other book that I read was not Burton and Swinburne. It's actually A Red Sun Also Rises, which is an alternate Mars book. But he's done a lot of work in conjunction with Michael Moorcock recently over the last few years. So yeah, looking forward to reading those. And if the first book is anything to go by, they're going to be crackers. And the next thing, or the last thing I got from World of Books was a couple of graphic novels, and they are graphic novels. It's not collections. So I was really heavily into collecting comics in the 80s, from about 81 through to about 93, and I'm still really interested, but there is a cut-off point. I mean, I haven't read a Marvel comic in decades. I don't think I will, not new ones anyway. But I was more attracted to the indie comic scene, and one of the artists or creators that I always loved was Eddie Campbell. Eddie Campbell, you may know from Hell, that he did with Alan Moore. Seminal work, brilliant, beautiful piece of work. And I first started reading that when it was being serialised in Taboo, which was the anthology series put out by Stephen R. Bissett or Bisset. But I always liked Eddie Campbell. He had a series of characters based on Greek mythology, and so I bought this one, The Fate of the Artist, which is a kind of semi-biographical, I'm led to believe, and The Black Diamond Detective Agency, which has a rather stunning cover, and it looks interesting, very interesting. Yeah, so yeah, those are the two Eddie Campbell books that I got from World of Books at a very reasonable price. So lastly, but by no means least, I'm going to go out on this one. This one arrived today. I've been waiting for it for ages. I got it from eBay, and it's Revenge of the Horse Clans, Robert Adams. So I love the Horse Clans books. I used to read them voraciously when I was a teenager. Probably mistakenly thinking that they were like gore. So when you're a teenage boy, gore is wonderful. I wouldn't read gore nowadays. Well, I tried the first one, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get through it. Such a den of misogyny and sexism you've never seen. But so yeah, so gore is one, but the Horse Clans was the other one. And I used to have not all of them, but I think I had like the first 5 or 6. And I recently I bought the first 2, and then I bought number 12. But I came across it. I mean, there was lots for sale, but I couldn't afford them. So the Revenge of the Horse Clans is number 3 in a series. So it kind of keeps the sequence going. I don't know when I'll get around to reading this. I've got so much to read, so much. But anyway, that's it. That's my haul. Thank you for sticking around. If you have stuck around, please drop a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Real life has been getting in the way too much recently, so I'm going to try and drop another couple of videos in the next week or so. One of them is an overview, and one of them is probably going to be a book review, and I hope to see you all soon. So I hope you're all looking after yourself and reading good books. Until next time, bye bye.